welcome to our first video on our Force Review Central YouTube channel, where we're gonna review and highlight some of the great Appexchange solutions and apps and components, as well as some of the talent that makes the Appexchange community grow day by day and week by week. My name is Arman, and I have about 5 years experience working on the Salesforce platform and have spent a lot of time with different types of solutions, solving some real world problems for companies, some custom made solutions, some third-party solutions that we bought, and some maybe with a little bit of a mix of everything. So wanted to highlight some of the great apps that are out there and solutions that live in the Appexchange, and hoping that we can continue making these videos and really showcase what is out there and how businesses can leverage some of these great apps and help them see impact right away from installing and using these apps. So today, let's take a look at Salesforce Labs. If you have spent at least 5 minutes on the Appexchange, you will realize that there's a lot of really cool apps out there for free that are made by Salesforce. If you look closer, you will see that they're made by Salesforce Labs, which is essentially apps that are made by Salesforce employees, almost kind of like side projects for the employees. The apps are always free for you to download and use, as well as the apps are considered open source, where you can get to the code and can take it and customize it in whatever ways and needs you need. There's some really cool stuff there. There's some stuff that you will even find about Einstein, free apps that leverage Einstein. So it's really, really cool apps that are out there. So today there's over about 300 different apps that are on the Appexchange that are made by Salesforce Labs. As mentioned, all free. And they actually are solving real world problems. Many of the apps are either feedback from customers or some unique situations where some functionality was missing, and this was a great way for the Salesforce employees to showcase their creativity and find and create solutions for these apps. The apps vary, so you can find apps in the education space, sales, things that cover reporting, dashboarding, even some of the stuff around calendar integration is out there. So there's a ton of stuff. For now, let's jump into it, and I can show you a few of the apps that are out there made by Salesforce Labs that I think are really, really cool. All right, so I mentioned some of the apps are around reporting and dashboarding, and one of the things they do a really good job is having these dashboard packages. So if you're a company who's just started using Salesforce and still learning the ways reporting works and dashboarding works, the next two apps are really, really good ways to get you up and running and using some of the great visual reporting and dashboarding that lives in Salesforce. So the first one is Sales Activity Dashboard. This is essentially a package of top used reports for the sales teams. Once you install it, there's a couple of configuration steps, and you have a dashboard page that your users can log into and view right off the bat. So you can install this and get dashboards up and running in 10-15 minutes. Instead of trying to build, report by report by report. The next one that I'll show you is actually around dashboards for cases. So if you have a Service Cloud and you've got folks working in the case management, you'll be able to install this, and same thing, you'll have a lot of reports that are already pre-built on the dashboard page, and you can start seeing impact right away and great reporting and dashboarding right off the bat. So you can see how much time are my cases spending in each stage, what status is taking the most time. I mean, really, really insightful information right off the bat for you. The next two are actually really interesting ones. So today, by default in Salesforce, you have a reports to field on the contact record. This app actually takes that information, and from the account page, you can actually see the hierarchy of all of the contacts for that account. All free, obviously, as I've been mentioning a few times. So you can actually see that Arthur is the CEO, and you got Shaba and Hank and who they all report to. So the reason why I really like this one is because there are some apps in the Appexchange that cost money and that you have to pay monthly. They do something along these lines, but obviously a little bit more functionality. But if you're looking for just a really good visualization of all of your data and which contact reports to which contact, this is a great solution. The other one is also regarding hierarchy. However, in this one, it is about the actual account structures that you have. So territory hierarchy. Again, there's many apps out there today that are paid that give you some of this information. You have to pay for it. This is a great free app that gives you some of the visualization about different org structure and hierarchy, and easy to configure and add to your pages. This is one that I found very interesting. It is around Einstein vision and language. So it's really, really cool to see that there are free solutions out there that folks can leverage as they start dabbling into Einstein and trying to find different ways to use it. So this one I really like because it touches on Einstein, as I mentioned. So this is giving you some additional functionality that you can leverage around Einstein vision and language. It's really good. If you're a company that's just starting to use Einstein and want to leverage some of the free out-of-the-box solutions, this is a great one for you. Now, the one that I like the most is change management at login. So many times when we have at a company, there's some brand new information that needs to be shared and cascaded down. It is sometimes difficult to make sure you get everybody to read that information and view it when needed. So this actually allows you to add these kind of messages right on the login screen. So everybody has to log in to use the Salesforce, especially if their primary role is in Salesforce. And what better way to have them see that really, really important information other than the actual login screen. So this is really good. There's some apps out there that do some of this informational push notifications kind of thing. But I thought this one was really, really interesting how they did it right on the login screen, get you right before you get in. So yeah, so that's just a few different examples of apps that I really like out there. But I do think there's some things we need to talk about Salesforce Labs before you go out there, start downloading all their apps. Well, I think it's great that Salesforce empowers their employees to go work on projects and create apps and publish them out to the community. I do think there's some few things that you need to know. So while all the apps are free, and Salesforce does call these apps open source apps, however, not all of the apps are actually have the ability for you to pull the code from. While all the folks who are creating the apps are encouraged to make the app open source and have the proper documentation and code available, that does not happen all the time. There's also instances where, because this is created by employees and is kind of, I'm calling them side projects, not all of the apps are regularly updated. So some of the apps that I showed you were made in 2017 and have not been updated since then. But that's not the case for all apps. Obviously, there's some apps that are updated regularly, and there's just some apps that are not. And this is exactly what I want you to pay attention to before you go out there and start downloading all of these really cool apps. So in all my years working on the Appexchange, looking at different solutions out there and looking at Salesforce Labs, I came to understanding that Salesforce Lab options and solutions are really hit and miss based on the customer. So if you're a Fortune 500 company that is looking for a solution that's going to integrate right into some sort of case preference management project that's going to be used to communicate with your customers and help solve their problems real time and really urgent kind of solution, Salesforce Labs is probably not the most ideal solution for you. There is no, all these apps are as is. There is no support package. You cannot call anybody and say, my app is not working. Can I get any additional help or support? But if you are maybe a small company, mid-sized company or whatever, essentially a company that doesn't have a big footprint of the developers for Salesforce on your team, and are looking for solutions for some of these problems that come up from your teams, and you don't want to spend $25,000 a year, $50,000 a year, and so on for some of these paid applications, this is definitely a place for you to kind of test out and see what you can find. because, like I mentioned, the apps are for free. And if you don't have the luxury of spending $50,000 for an app that is supported by a company, and you don't have a development team that would build you a custom solution, these apps are definitely they definitely work. They had to pass, all the different security reviews before they made it to the Appexchange. So there's no harm in trying these apps out. Maybe they work, maybe they don't, but essentially this is your library of solutions that are made by some really smart people that can actually help your business run maybe more smoother, more efficient, maybe even grow your sales, or just let you hit the ground running a little bit smoother with Salesforce. So in summary, I think Salesforce Labs gets thumbs up from me. It is a really great way to get some solutions in the Appexchange. However, I think the value that it brings really depends from customer to customer. Okay, so in summary, Salesforce Labs gets thumbs up from me. I think it brings really cool features and apps to the Appexchange community and the ecosystem. However, the value that it brings really does depend from customer to customer. So that was our first video. I hope you guys liked it, enjoyed it, had fun, learned something. We'll continue to make these videos regular basis, hopefully to bring some more live demos in these videos, as well as potentially interviewing some of the talent that makes up the Appexchange. So until then, see you later.